the first time I saw it, but now it's really annoying because not having any real standards and letting anyone say and be anything they want is really messing with my screening patterns and my dating life. I am as progressive as they come, but I like tall guys, you know? Is it okay to be both open-minded and extremely shallow at the same time?
Yes.
Got to draw the line somewhere, right? Marissa via our Instagram page. Well, clearly I'm the kettle calling black because I just said you could be this and that at the same time too. I think it's funny, and I have heard that guys are doing this.
Oh,
when
I have not. This
they're
is
like,
funny.
I identify as 6'4". I think it's a good way to say fuck you to all this stupid. That's my PC. Stupid fucking chicks out there who are judging these guys who are 5'8", and they're probably good guys. And I hate. We've done podcast ad infinitum on the height thing here. As I've said, I was
sensitive.
I was
5'8", Brian.
I know.
I'm sensitive.
I stared into that abyss. No offense. I was 5'4" till I was a senior in high school, and I'm 6 feet tall now, slightly under 6 feet since my car accident. But anyway, so I get the plight of the guy. There's a lot of awesome guys that are 5'8". You girls have got to get over this.
Yeah,
I hate it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And so if they're willing to say, if you're going to treat my height like a joke, I'm going to treat the whole thing like a joke. So good for them.
Yes, but
well,
no,
she's allowed to be shallow, though. Is that?
Well, the thing is, though, for
she's
me,
allowed to be shallow. Yeah. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, but here's the thing:
the pool of guys.
But here's the thing: you're attracted to who you're attracted to, right? You're attracted to who you're attracted to. There's a height. If all of a sudden,
very rarely is it a single physical characteristic, though. I'm very rarely going to just rule people out because of a giant thing.
I'm not going to rule somebody out just because of their height.
Do you know percentage of men are 6'2"?
Oh, I don't know. Probably like less than 10%.
Yeah, 7.
Okay. Well,
so,
damn.
So if you have a type that is ruling out 93% of the possibilities before you even get to choice 2, you need to fix that.
Jeff Bezos is like 5'7", so
you don't have to rule him out, but just because
he stands on his wallet.
That's what he's. That's 10-inch wallet.
So you're 5'8".
I am.
How tall is your wife?
She's 5'7" and a half. 5'7" and a quarter. Yeah.
That's,
yeah. But, you know, it's funny, though.
Yeah.
So I kind of, I would say to this person, yeah, you can be shallow because I have never really been attracted to girls taller than me, and maybe that's just because I have, like, short guy syndrome, and I don't know.
But see, there is something.
Did you ever have short guy syndrome? Did it ever affect your dating life, like, or somebody patted you on the head?
Like,
wow,
yeah.
dear boy.
I think anybody who knows me knows that I'm overconfident about everything, so maybe.
Is that because you're short?
Because
I became a cocky fuck because even though I was tall, I felt like I remembered all those years when I was short, Brian Howie, and I never quite matched up the fact that I was now tall with the persona of the short guy that I went through high school with.
Yes.
It took a while to sort of match that up. I get that.
Balance that.
But it's one of my personal pet peeves in the dating world is when women discriminate on height. They have no idea how many guys are tall or short. The short girls want the guy to make up for it. The tall girls want a guy taller than them that they're never going to find because the advantage of being a tall guy is you want to be a tall guy. So you don't want to date girls 6 feet, you know? I hate it. I get it. Her question is it hypocritical? Sure, but we're fine with that too. We all are in this world. It's good that you admit it. Right?
I just didn't know how you can identify as a taller height.
And I don't know. I feel like I agree with you, Diane.
How tall are you, Diane?
I'm 5'2.5". I'm a shorty.
Do you have a height thing?
But
do you care?
You know what? Kind of. Yeah. I'm kind of shallow like that.
How tall do you want?
Anywhere between 5'12" and 6.
5'12" and 6 is the same.
It is the same thing.
That's a real tight window.
Wow, that is
between
very
5'12"
narrow.
and 6 is a hard bullseye to hit.
Know. Well, you know what? I
so
will
if
say,
a guy says
I will say this way: I'm going on a date tomorrow with a shorter guy.
He's 5'9"?
Shorter being
like 5'8".
Okay, thanks.
And
that hurts.
He can hear you.
I'm right here.
I know, but I'm not dating you.
Wait, hold on. If a guy says he's 5'11", do you assume that means he's 5'9"?
No, actually, I don't. I actually,
trust it.
You know what?
See, they don't
I hope
trust
that
6
someone. What sucks though is dating online. We've talked about this. There's like, people don't put the right profile picture. They put something on from 10 years ago.
Can I ask you, what are you using to date online? What service?
Nothing. I'm offline.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
no, I dip my toe in that, and in Cleveland, you're kind of fishing from the same pond.
You're in a small town. It's a small pond. It's the same pond. Here,
and
we're outside of Cleveland now, folks. At Comida, which means
food. Which means food. Woohoo.
Now,
but we don't have any food.
Here's why I'm on the side of the guys making the joke, because, like I just said, If you say you're 6 feet, they assume you're 5'10". If you say you're 5'10", they assume you're 5'6". So they're already going into it judging anyway. So the guy's like, here's what I think I am. Just like you're doing, here's what you think I am. Nobody's really judging the numbers legit anyway. At least these guys show they have a sense of humor.
Right, I will say it was a sense of humor.
I
think it's cute.
Yeah,
I think it is a sense of humor.
So points for cute. Every guy do that now. Every guy do that. That's my advice to you.
I applaud it.
Do
I think it's great.
Yeah.
But I also kind of defend her right to be shallow because I think that, like you said,
we will always defend the right
to be shallow.
You're so hardwired with like what you are attracted to.
Well, I think for me, to be honest with you, like I have to date throughout my entire life. I've had to date someone bigger than me because if like, someone's small, I have to feel.
Hard for you to find somebody smaller than you. You're 5'2".
I know, but I mean, like body wise too, and
you're a small person.
Yeah, I know. I'm skinny, but like
that's not a real feat. You're like very noble. I'm going to date people bigger than me. And you're 5'2".
And it eliminates the Oompa Loompas.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it's hard. I mean, I've met guys who were like rails, like skinny, super skinny, like super like, and I'm like, okay, I can't. No, I need someone
like a jockey. You don't want to date a jockey.
Yeah, I need someone who can put their arms around me, and I can feel like their manliness.
If you look at the jockey wives, they're all disproportionately hot.
Well,
because those guys are badass. They're ballsy to ride a horse, at 45 miles an hour.
And they're riding her too.
And whatever. But the jockeys have disproportionately good-looking wives across the board. That's the things I notice at the track. I go to the horse track a lot, or I have, and I'm always like, "Wow, that's his wife. Wow, good for you, Jorge Chavez.
Yeah.
Good for you." All right, this is your first time on the... That wraps our listener letters. That was a good batch, you guys. I appreciate it.
Those were very good.
They were complicated, and they were good. In the interest of time, as you guys know, first time on the podcast, we play something called Worst Date or First Date, which means you have to give us either the worst date you've ever had... Think back to your swinging single days. Either the worst date you've ever had or the absolute greatest first date you've ever had. Your choice.
Okay.
Diane first.
Please,
worst date or first date?
Worst date. Went out with a guy.
Worst
or first? So the worst date you've ever had or the greatest first date you've ever had. They don't have to be this.
I wish you had to prep me for this.
No, we don't prep people here.
Okay.
That's like
I'm already.
When you were on a date, do you say, I wish you prepped me for this?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
this is like we went out to
But
brunch.
I've got this.
Okay, go ahead.
So worst date ever. This is before Uber. This is when you had like big brick cell phones, so I didn't have one. So this guy takes me out. I lived in the Detroit area. We're at this bar restaurant. I'm drinking a Heineken, and he looks at me, and this is our first date, and he's like, "Hey, Diane, I've got to tell you something." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm ready. Like, what's up?" I have a 9-month-old baby. Like, okay, now I'm a school teacher. I can handle this. Like, you know what? That's cool. I take a sip of my Heineken, and I'm like, okay, I got this. That's cool. Little boy, girl, I can do this. Diane, there's something else I have to tell you. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, so I'm like, seriously, like, how many things do you have to admit? So he's like, the mom is a stripper, and she's still stripping. Are you okay with that? Mm-hmm. And now, mind you, right now I'm like, I want the exit door.
What do you care what the mom does of the baby?
Well, I don't
of
care.
The child.
I don't care. But the thing is, for me, that means he's looking for me to be a part of this child's life.
Oh.
And I wasn't ready to be a part of a child's life. And then also have, with all, and maybe a little judgy of me, but
he told
have a
you.
stripper as his baby mama. Like, and I was working at a Catholic school at the time too. Okay, so and bringing, hey mom, mom, this is John. He's awesome. He has a 9-month-old son with a stripper.
Why do you have to bring up her profession?
Well,
do you care? Who cares?
He did. So, anyways,
I know he did, and okay, go on.
But then it went to the next level. So I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just like, okay, this is one date and we're done. Like I do not see this going anywhere. And then he's like, Diane, I have one more thing to tell you. And this time I'm like, do I look like a freaking priest at this point? And he's like,
you're ordained.
I am now, but I wasn't at the time.
Yeah.
That was a far-fetched idea. And so he's like, and I spent time in federal prison for dealing cocaine. Are you okay with that? Okay, right now I was just like, stick a fork in me. I thought I was being punked.
His time?
I thought I was being punked.
Did his time.
He did his time. And I'm sure he's really legit right now.
And then he's like, at this one time in Tucson.
Yeah, I know. Right, exactly. So I get it. Not great, but props to him for coming clean.
Yeah,
okay, yeah, but that was
clean.
It's a little too
that was
clean,
a little too clean,
he
too
probably,
quick.
I know,
like
but
1, 2, 3, like maybe
That
the
was
first
all-
date, maybe
all
hey
right.
baby,
All right.
second date.
if put it straight, if
Hey.
that's the worst date you've ever had, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I
not
think
that
so.
bad. All right,
Oh, God.
Chris.
Do I have to do this? Can
Yes.
you
Yeah,
skip me
you
right
do.
now?
No.
Okay.
No.
Did we establish that I've been married for a long time?
Yeah.
and
So
I'm
you
not
must
the
have gone.
demographic
You must
for
have gone on a date with her.
Okay, I'll tell you. Like, okay,
Let's hear the first
I'm gonna
date
try
with
to
her.
Keep this in a nutshell.
Okay.
Right? All right. The first time I laid eyes on my wife, I was like, "Oh, that girl is really beautiful."
I'm going to buy her the worst engagement ring.
It is
Ever,
gonna be
ever.
tiny, and yeah, she's gonna get used to small things. Right? I kid.
Yes.
I kid. Okay. All right. Anyway, so I met her in college, sophomore year. I see her. She was my roommate had a crush on her roommate. He brought my now wife and the girl he had a crush on over after lunch one day to our dorm room. Mm-hmm. And I was like, whoa, like that girl is, we should go on a double date.
Right.
Okay. So I barely knew this girl. She seemed like, I got to know her well enough to know that she seemed smart, funny, cool, and beautiful. So I said to my roommate Tom, I said, you should ask Becky out, and I should ask Laura out for like a double date this weekend. So I called my now wife, and she was too nice to say no. Like she was, sympathy. I felt like it was a sympathy date, to be honest.
Right.
So we set up a double date, and I'm in the shower. We'd set up we went to this small college town, and there was one like quasi nice restaurant in town that wasn't a chain. Or wasn't, like fast food.
It wasn't Olive
Right.
Garden?
Right.
No.
No, it actually wasn't, but it was
Right.
went to Miami, Ohio. Anyway, but so we set up the date. We were going to meet there at like 7 p.m. I'm in the shower, of course, at 6:39 because
Right.
I'm a guy, and I'm like, And my roommate comes back, and he says, hey, he's like knocking on the door. Just to let you know, I just stopped at the grocery store, and I bought 2 red roses and dropped them at the restaurant and told the maitre d' to put them on each girl's plate. Now, okay.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
No, Diane, no. Any girl that I would want to date or marry would think it's weird that
Yeah.
a guy she barely knows
It's risky.
is putting a red
Some would
rose
think it's
on
sweet,
her
some
Yeah, but
plate.
this is before
Yeah.
The Bachelor.
I know.
Okay,
Hold on.
true. That is
This wasn't
20
like
this is 20 years ago.
Continue.
Right, so this is
So
before The
I'm
Bachelor.
freaking out in the shower. I'm like, what the hell did you just say? Did you just say that this girl I barely know that I think is really beautiful and has
Yeah.
tons of potential is going to, like, we're going to walk in and she's going to see that I have put a red rose on her plate, and it's just, like, to me that's, if you know
little
me, that's too
ballsy.
forward.
Yeah,
like,
too
it's,
forward. Okay.
And any girl that I might date would be like,
Right.
that's weird. You
Yeah,
know, like, that's
it's
not,
risky.
It's just, I don't know.
Some will
I'm actually quite romantic, and I'm like
Half
the girl
will
in the
like it
relationship.
and half will not.
Right. So anyway, we walk in. I find out later that she was creeped out. And, yeah. And I thought, despite that, I thought the date went well. I asked her the next. I actually waited back then it was like the
3 days or
the
something.
3-day rule or
Yeah.
whatever. I waited
Right.
a couple days, and I was like, man, that was a fun time, and nothing happened. And mind you, I was
Uh-huh.
a gentleman, and we tried. I waited a couple days, followed up, and I desperately wanted to go out with her the next weekend. And I called her and said, hey, would you like to go out next weekend? And she was very busy rearranging her sock drawer or something like that.
Yeah.
And she said no. And long story short is, several years went by, and years.
Oh, wow.
We saw each other. I became friends with her, but I was sort of friend zoned for a little while, maybe. And then I moved to Colorado. She became a teacher in Cincinnati, Ohio. We started a long distance thing. We talked on the phone, blah, 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 blah. And we had a long distance, and now we have 4 children, and we've been married. And
That is wonderful.
Oh,
that's
that's
the-
a
that is
very
the
good
super
date.
First of
Reader's
all-
Digest version.
You overcame your shortcomings. you overcame the friend zone.
Well,
Which is huge.
I don't know that I was, but yeah.
But you
I was-
overcame a
right.
jackass of a friend move.
Yeah,
What
it just
happened to
was a
them?
bold
Yes.
move.
What happened to them?
Oh, that was it. That she was not interested in.
Did
although
either of
he's
them
now
come
the
to
head
your-
of cardiology at a big hospital
Oh,
chain?
circle back.
Is he single?
There you go.
No, I
There you
actually
go.
think he married a nurse 15 years his junior recently. But
That was a very sweet story. Do you like that story?
That was a very
Does
sweet
that
story.
make
I
you
like
believe in love
that.
again?
I believe it. I
I like that a lot.
I see love every day.
Props to